Hi, we are now at 7.3, which is double angle formula. So I already mentioned this in the previous section that we have something we call double angle formulas, and here first sine of 2x is equal to 2 times sine x cos x. So you have to kind of again memorize these formulas, so that sine of 2x, or at least you should know the trick to figure them out, or evaluate them at the moment if you don't remember them. So sine of 2x, which means if I have sine of for example, let's say 60 degrees. So now 60 can be thought of as sine of 2 times 30. So it can be 2 times sine of 30 degrees times cosine of 30 degrees, which is equal to 2 times 1/2 times square root of 3 over 2. 2 to cancel here, so I get square root of 3 over 2. And you know that sine of 60 degrees is square root of 3 over 2. So we can do that. Also, we can now find the sine, cosine, tangent of double angle. So because sine and cosine we can find from these two formulas, and then the tangent is just sine 2x over cosine 2x. So these two are called the double angle formulas. We can now use these along with other fundamental identities to evaluate the trig functions of more angles, and then verify more identities and or find new formulas. So we can keep going. Then there are formulas for sine 3x, cosine 3x, which are a little bit complicated. We are not going to look at them here, but you can go as far as you want. Okay, here example. So we are given the information on the angle x, but the question is asking us to find the sine, cosine, and tangent for the double of x. Okay, so what can we do here? So think about it. In the formulas for sine, cosine, which are written there, you can see that we need the sine of x and cosine of x. Now for to find sine of 2x, we have only one formula. If to find cosine of 2x, we have 3 different formulas. We can use any of those. Now if I use the last one, I only need to know what is the value of cosine x. If I use this second one, I have to know only the sine x. But for this one, I have to know both. Now for sine, we have to know both. So it means we have to first find those. And how do I do that? The same technique that we have learned before. So tangent of x is -4 over 3. X is in third quadrant. So x is over here. So -4 over 3. So -4, and this is 3. So I have to find this side, which is the hypotenuse. So using my Pythagorean theorem, c square will be equal to 9 plus 16, which is 25. So c will be equal to 5. So that once you know c, you can write your sine of x and you can write your cosine of x. So we find that sine of x is -4 over 5 and cosine of x is 3 over 5. Okay, once we know that, now sine of 2x we know is 2 times sine of x times cosine of x. So it becomes equal to 2 times -4 over 5 times 3 over 5, which is -24 over 25. Okay, what about cosine of 2x? So this is cosine square x minus sine square x, which is equal to, cosine square means 3 over 5 whole square minus -4 over 5 whole square. So we end up getting 9 over 25 minus 16 over 25, which is equal to 16 minus 9 is 7 minus 7 over 25. So that I came into the territory of the next problem. Okay. I want to make it a little smaller. Okay, so now we come to tangent. So the tangent of 2x will be sine, which is negative 24 over 25, and then we have to divide it by negative 7 over 25. So can you see it will be 24 over 7. So this is how you can find the. So second example is when we are given that secant of x is equal to 2 and sine of x is less than 0. Sine of x is less than 0 means that the angle has to be, the terminal ray of the terminal side of the angle is in the third or the fourth quadrant. If it is in the third quadrant, then the cosine is negative, and so secant would be negative. But since secant is positive, so we must be in the fourth quadrant. So I can draw like before we draw a triangle. In the fourth quadrant, right? So I'm good. This name is x, and secant is equal to 2. Secant is, remember, hypotenuse over adjacent. So it means this is 1 and this is 2. No, it's opposite, right? So this is 2 and this is 1. Is that correct? Because secant is 2, so cosine will be 1 over 2. So I need to find this side. Let me call it a. It will be negative, by the way. You can see that. So we have a square plus 1 square is equal to 2 square, which is 4. So a square is equal to 3. So a will be equal to negative square root of 3. So I can find out what is sine of x. Sine of x will be negative square root of 3 over 2. We can actually now figure out what x is, because these values are on the unit circle. These cosine is 1/2 and sine is equal to negative square root of 2, equal to negative square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so now x is negative pi over 3. Okay, so you can do it from here, that since x is negative pi over 3, so 2x will be negative 2 pi over 3. So sine of negative 2 pi over 3, which is in the third quadrant, will be equal to negative square root of 3 over 2, and cosine of negative 2 pi over 3 will be negative 1/2. So you can find the tangent. Or if you were not able to recognize that these two values can give us our angle. So you can proceed like before, that sine of 2x is equal to 2 times sine x cosine x. Every time you use a formula, write it, so that's how you will remember it. Okay, so now you just plug in the values for the sine x and cosine x. 2 times sine x is negative square root of 3 over 2 and cosine x is 1/2. So we end up getting negative square root of 3 over 2. See, that's what we were getting here. What about cosine of 2x? That will be cosine square 2x, cosine square x minus sine square x, which is equal to cosine square. Cosine x is 1/2. Cosine square will be 1 over 4 minus, so sine of x is negative 3 square root of 3 over 2, so it will become 3 over 4, and this gives me negative 2 over 4, or negative 1/2. This is what we got for cosine over here. Same thing. So tangent of 2x will be sine of 2x divided by cosine of 2x, which will mean negative square root of 3 over 2 divided by negative 1/2. So it will give me just square root of 3. Okay, I'll let you try this one. Just a reminder. So this is cosine of x is negative 4. So immediately you can write sine of x, which will be negative 1 over 4. So sine is negative, tangent is positive. Tangent is greater than 0. So figure out where the angle will be, draw the triangle, do it. So I will come back in the next video and see what